There we go. Ho, ho, ho.
You are live. It is December the 24th at 4 o'clock in Alabama. And if you don't have all your packages, I don't know what I can tell you.
Merry Christmas.
That's what I'll tell you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve.
Just tell them it wasn't about a package anyway, and it'll be there next year.
We were talking about it, as a kid. I don't know when the trend started with us, my family. We always went to Nanny and Granddaddy's Christmas Eve. And then all the family would, aunts, uncles, everybody. And then when I got home that evening, we'd open presents on Christmas Eve night. We wouldn't do Christmas morning. Now, we used to do Christmas morning, but I can't remember where the change was there.
Well, we're a long way apart. Let me get over here like I like you. The whole time that I dated you.
Yeah.
We went to Nanny and Granddaddy's first.
Yep.
And then we went to your house.
And open presents.
So I can't help you.
I don't know when that was. I don't know when we started doing that. I was young, but I don't know how young I was. But, forever, we did Christmas morning, of course. But
and then it changed.
At some point, Christmas Eve night took over. And I don't know when or why.
Well, that's to be determined.
I guess so.
But so far, we haven't followed that suit here at our house.
No.
Not to say we may change at some point.
Right.
But it's always been, for me, it was always Christmas morning.
Always Christmas morning for you.
It was always Christmas morning for me. And, every household's different.
That's right.
So it's kind of like whatever works for your family.
I guess so.
Is what you do.
I'm sure my parents me and my brother probably bugged them. That they said, let's just go and get them, let them open them.
Well, I always knew what I had anyway. I knew where the stashing places were. I'm not a patient person.
Oh, yeah.
And I always knew what I was getting ahead of time. And if I didn't, it just ate me up inside. I should have not. Mary Carl wouldn't do that. She doesn't want to spoil it.
I'm the same way. But I remember spoiling it, finding a gift here or there, and then,
I searched for mine. I intentionally found it.
Feeling, disappointed that I found it. You know what I mean?
I was giddy. I felt accomplished that I found it, and I knew what I was getting. It was every year.
It kind of reminds me, you and your mom are alike in the sense that, she starts watching a series, she'll go online
and spoil it
and see all the spoilers and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I cannot do that. I don't want to know anything about it.
Mary Carl wouldn't either.
Yeah.
So, it's probably better for your mind for it to be a surprise.
I guess it just depends on your personality.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't like in my personality, and let's see how many of you feel the same.
What's that?
So I didn't sleep very well last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. There was no rhyme or reason. I just didn't sleep very well. And I drove the tractor, but this was well before the live, out to the road and got our garbage cans from the garbage man collecting garbage. Right. And I parked the tractor at the barn and I walked back. And on my way back, I got to feeling that I didn't sleep last night. It caught up with me. I hadn't felt that way until then.
Right.
And so I walked on back and I went to my mama's house to visit. You and Mary Carl were occupied, and she talked me into going to take a nap because that's where me and my mama are alike. And so we looked at the clock and it was a little after 2. And I said, I'm going to go lay down because I just can't hardly keep my eyes open and I'm miserable.
Yeah.
And it's going to reflect in the live, that I'm just not with it today. So I did. I went and laid down and I told Jason, I said, I've got my clock set at 3:30, but if I don't get up, come wake me up because something could happen and my alarm not go off. This is the point. I hate an alarm.
Yeah.
It scares me to death no matter what. And if I wake up before it goes off, I told myself, I woke up and I said, I'm going to see how much time I got before that alarm goes off. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do that because if I do, I'll be saying I can't go back to sleep because I only got 30 more minutes.
Right.
And so I didn't look at the clock. And it was almost as soon as I said, I'm not looking at the clock, that alarm went off and it jumped. Oh my gosh. It's got to take years off your life. It's got to. I wish I just told you to come wake me up. But then I'm always scared that
I'll forget.
Well, I'm not. I know. I know. Just gonna be honest. You'll say, "Oh, she needed to rest," and I just told everybody we'd do the live Saturday because I needed to rest. We're here because I set an alarm and I jumped out of my skin. So
I would have set myself a reminder.
Yeah, but then you just said I'm gonna let her sleep 10 more minutes.
There's old Bobby and Sherry.
Hey, Bobby and Sherry. We shared about Bobby and Sherry's Facebook account getting hacked and taken down on our last live, but Black's Tropical is no longer on Facebook. It is now Bobby and Sherry Lifestyle.
That's right.
So y'all check them out. Had to put that in there while I was thinking about it. Since my lives were cut short, literally. From the alarm going off.
The alarm going off. Yeah,
I would feel much better.
Oh, good. Good. I would have set myself a reminder to gotten you up. So
that's not the point. It would have been 10 minutes after I told you. We can't do that. So here we are. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Here we are. Merry Christmas. I do want to say that I appreciate everybody. From the last live, I talked about searching for the kids channel on the YouTube Kids app. And there was some people that got confused and they were searching YouTube for the kids channel and they were saying, "Hey, I found it." It wouldn't, but it's not, it is on YouTube itself. We can see it easily on YouTube.
It's a kids app.
It's on YouTube Kids that it's not showing up on. So, but I do appreciate every single one of y'all for doing that for us.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know if it's going to work or not, but maybe.
Maybe. And then we had somebody that said, "I found it," and sent a screenshot and showed us what she found. And I was telling Jason, and he came upstairs to research. He was like, "Maybe it's on there.
Maybe it's on there now."
And then she sent me a message before we got to the bottom of it. Said, "Oops, I was wrong. I was searching on the wrong thing."
Yeah. So
wishful thinking.
Yeah, it is. But hopefully one day we'll make it on the YouTube Kids app.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe.
So, what else you got, Jason?
I'm just marking away.
I don't have any way to mark mine.
I'm just marking away.
Mine's in my mind.
So you went to the big city of Selma yesterday.
Yes.
Had some errands to run.
I've told y'all before that there's a man that used to work for Jason's daddy.
That's right.
He's I don't know how old he is. He's an older gentleman. And he's always just had my heart. His name is Jesse. And Jesse still lives in Selma. And actually lives with his sister-in-law now. His brother passed away this past year, so it's just him and his sister-in-law. And every year for the past, 10 years.
Yeah.
I know 10 years, if not more. I have fixed Jesse a big basket. And I've resorted to using laundry baskets because they're inexpensive and he can use it.
Right.
And I fill it up with all of his favorite foods. Jesse's somebody that doesn't have a lot. So he, of course, appreciates a little something that he couldn't buy for himself.
Right.
Well, this year, he's had some health problems. He was actually just released from a 21-day visit from the nursing home after having some blood clots removed. Recovery time was about 6 weeks in the hospital. And I am thankful to have delivered Jesse another year of his Christmas goodies. His sister-in-law told me that he had been waiting on me, that he had been talking about it. And last year he had some, what I thought was dementia that had set in.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, "Jesse," I said, "do you know who I am?" He said, "Yes, Brooke." And I said, "Well, you know what time it almost is?" And he said, "Santa Claus time."
That's right.
But I took a picture of me and Jesse. And I wanted to share it with you guys. He's just the sweetest man. He's laying down in his bed, but y'all can see Mr. Jesse, and he's got a big smile on his face, and it puts the biggest smile on my face to see him happy and in anticipation of my visit.
We love Jesse to death.
We do.
Yep.
But I didn't go to get my point of going to Selma was to visit with Jesse,
Right.
but I also had some other stops.
Right. I saw that Ryan posted you stopped by his shop yesterday.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Did he share a picture?
He did. He even tagged you in it.
I hadn't seen it.
You hadn't seen it?
What did he say in the picture? You'll have to show
that you stopped by.
Did he say that I brought all that material that I had with me? Y'all, when I walked in Ryan's shop,
go back and look.
He said that y'all wiped him out on the coffee, which was a good thing. And he had lots of beans there to be roasted. And oh yeah, there I am.
So guess who visited me today?
Look at there. That's a mess of coffee right there, y'all.
A mess of coffee. That how many bags of coffee that was?
Oh,
it's a bunch.
It's I don't know how many pounds of coffee that is, but it's a lot.
And
y'all.
he had to unload that all by himself.
I would have helped him.
Oh, Ryan.
But he said y'all wiped him out, which was a good thing. So he's ready to get that roaster back running and starting over for
That's right.
the new year.
That's right.
He's still shipping, but he did get wiped out quite a bit. So I went by and visited Ryan. Went by and visited Mr. Roy.
Mm-hmm.
I told Mr. Roy that everybody wants to know how his health is.
That's right.
He assured me that he was good. And you want to know how I know that? Because he told me he runs 2 miles every day.
After breaking his hip.
And he said, now I might not have the prettiest run out there. And he said, when I get started initially, it's quite a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but when I get going, by the time I get finished, I've forgotten what it was like in the beginning. So that is a good story.
Yeah.
To know Mr. Roy broke his hip back in the summer and he's running 2 miles every single day.
Yep. And that's the Roy, our beekeeper.
Yes.
Yep.
Who broke his hip.
You didn't see Miss Rachel yesterday.
I didn't see Rachel. I talked to her on the phone.
Yep.
She had a relative in from out of town, so she was busy seeing her off. But I didn't stop there. I kept on driving. And I went on to the big city of Marion Junction, Alabama. And if you blink, you will miss Marion Junction, Alabama.
You will miss it.
It's a beautiful part of Alabama, lots of rural land. And that's where Laura at Simply Making It and her husband Chip reside. And visited Laura at her studio because I showed y'all some freeze-dried calendulas that I had done for Laura. And I delivered those to her. And she had us a goodie basket, which she always does. She made me something very special. And now she can't make these in mass production. So it's not something that's going to be available on her website.
Yeah, this was personal for you.
I asked her, I said, Laura, how long does it take you to make the needle felted soap? Because I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Mary Carl was very inquisitive about it too. Mary Carl was with me.
Yeah.
And she said anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours per bar of soap.
That is unreal. And that's the needlepoint felted soap.
Yeah, I got to tell you. You know, I opened my Christmas presents before Christmas. There's no way I could have the patience. But this is my own personal bar of soap that Laura made for me with a beautiful goat and some flowers in front of it. But yeah, look, the goat's got a flower in its mouth. It's just amazing.
Isn't it pretty?
I mean, and I'm not going to use it. I don't care.
We decided yesterday it was so pretty that we didn't want to use it.
I don't care what she tells me. I'm not using it. One's going on my shelf because it means a lot to me.
That's right.
She's such a special friend, and just can't thank her enough.
That's right. She is. She's an amazing person.
She really is.
Absolutely.
And she appreciates each and every one of you.
She does.
She really
Big
does.
time.
I mean, goodness, she was just on and on about how our supporters have supported her throughout the year, and she couldn't be more thankful.
That's right.
But that wasn't our last stop. I got told that, Mama, do we have time to run in the thrift store?
Flea market thrift store.
We left Laura at 4 o'clock. And we still had to drive home a little over an hour. And I could not tell her no. I said, if they're open. So she got my phone and she got to looking, and their hours were till 5:30. So Mary Carl and I go, and we spent from the time it took to leave Laura's until 5:30 when the flea market closed at the thrift store. And we enjoyed every minute.
I know it was late when y'all got home last night.
It was 7 o'clock when we got home. I told her, I said, I'm taking my time getting home. Deer are moving.
Right.
And I'm not getting in a hurry. So we took our time and we got home around 7 last night. It was a long day, to say the least. Didn't plan to visit that long, but that's how it goes.
It's okay though.
You get started. At least I get started.
That's right.
Running my mouth and it just doesn't stop.
Perfectly fine.
So we had fun. We had a lot of fun.
So I see a lot of people asking about Miss Matilda. And she is doing better. She really is. And I will have a video out on her and her physical therapy on Friday. And tomorrow's video is a big update on something.
Yes.
So you'll have to stay tuned for that for tomorrow. It's perfect for Christmas. It's the perfect timing for Christmas, the video tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned for that. But Matilda is she's, in our opinion, she's doing much better. Much, much better.
In my honest opinion, she's doing better than what the vet expected her to be doing. And Mama asked me a little bit ago, did I need to call them and update them? I said, no, ma'am. Not unless she's doing bad. And we don't want to hear that.
Right.
So no update needed unless she needed to come back. And from the way things look right now, we're not going to have to go back.
Right. Right now.
Right.
Right now. But she is getting better, in our opinion, for sure.
She's getting my hopes up.
Yep.
And I hope she's doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
You know, I mean, always things can happen and can go in reverse, but we don't want to see that.
No, not at all. Not at all. That was but so y'all know about Peaches in Pocket. Peaches in Pocket, y'all, they are just, and as soon as you think that you've seen it all between them two, you see something else and you think, oh my gracious, these two here, I swear.
They were meant for each other.
So
I told y'all once before that before Pocket came and we were talking to the owners about potentially bringing her to our farm to live, I Googled, can a pig and a mini horse become friends?
Yeah.
And it pretty much said, while it's possible, it's not likely.
So we've had cameras here on the farm. We've been adding more and more, and so I added more in the barn here recently. And I want y'all to see this. So I get up early, and I actually had gotten up around 4:30 this morning, and I got where I checked the cameras, see what everything's going on. And y'all look at this. Look at these two right here. So that is Pocket and Peaches side by side, asleep in their stall right there.
You know, they can put on all the show they want to during daylight hours. They can act like they're buddies. They can seem like they're friends to us. But what happens during the nighttime hours, we're not standing there. We're not watching them. And it's for real. They have a friendship that
they're tight.
They're tight.
They are absolutely tight.
If they weren't, they would not be sleeping beside each other. And that is Pocket.
Yeah.
Because that's Peach's spot.
Peaches sleeps there every single time. So, you know, that's Pocket going over there and laying beside her.
Yep. And Peaches likes her. Peaches likes her.
Absolutely likes her.
She goes where Pocket goes. If Pocket's outside eating hay at her hay rack, Peaches goes out there and hangs out with her. We even caught Peaches eating hay.
Yeah.
Beside Pocket the other day.
We did.
Now, it was alfalfa. Pigs are known to, you know, eat a little bit of hay, especially coonies. But she was standing beside Pocket, eating hay, just like Pocket
Oh,
was.
goodness.
No jealousy whatsoever between, Pocket not wanting her to have her hay. She just carried on.
It was amazing. Also, we've seen them. So Pocket got on a little run.
Yeah.
And so she's running, and then she would run, and y'all, she would get within an inch of Peaches, and then she'd turn around and look at her.
It was almost like she'd say, "Come on, girl."
And she was trying her best to get Peaches to run with her. And then she'd come back around, and she looked back at Peaches again. And then, y'all know, Peaches ain't gonna run. I mean,
but she did the closest thing to a run we've ever seen.
She did. She did a little trot.
She did a little trot. Mm-hmm. Now, Pookie, she doesn't do a little trot. She does a little wide open.
Yeah.
That's not in Peach's vocabulary.
No.
She's pot-bellied pig. If we see that, we need to probably call 911 because it just don't happen. But those two are tight.
They are tight.
They are tight.
Very tight. I'll say almost 75% of the time you're going to see them together. If not, then Peaches is either sunning or asleep.
As a matter of fact, we had a visitor from nearby in Alabama, a lady that came. She had previously came to buy eggs, and this particular day she came to drop off a gift for us at our farm stand. And she sent Jason an email after she left, and she said, y'all have said that Peaches and Pocket are buddies. And she said, not that I doubted y'all, but I just, I didn't see it the way that y'all were describing it until I witnessed it with my own eyes.
Yep.
And she said that Peaches and Pocket were out in the pasture together. And it was just such a warming sight to see the two of them getting along so well.
And you know who that was?
Yeah, I do.
That was Nana B.
It was Nana B.
And Nana B left us something that I have never heard of. Never. As a matter of fact, I told you that she misspelled it.
Jason.
I said I not misspelled it. I thought it was autocorrect. I thought what she typed was autocorrected. And you know how that goes. You're typing something out and it changes it. And so Nana B dropped off. It was in a mason jar.
It was a glass jar with a beautiful ribbon tied on it. It was so pretty.
And it had all these layers in it. And it was like, you could tell it was like flour and then like a white chocolate chips and cranberries and had all this stuff in it. And I was like, man, this looks great. And then on it said Hootie Creeks, like a creek that flows. And I thought it should have been Hootie Cakes. And I told you, I said, that's Hootie Cakes. That should be Hootie Cakes.
I said, Jason, she typed it. There's no way that she typed that wrong. And he said, well, I'm just going to tell her thank you for the snack.
For the treats.
The treats, because he didn't want to possibly, call it something that she didn't mean to.
So I've never heard of Hootie Creeks. And so I Googled it because you wanted to know.
I needed to know the recipe. No, not how to make it. She gave instructions. I needed to know the ingredients.
Yes, because you wanted to make your own.
Because I wanted to make my own.
And lo and behold, that is the name, Hootie Creeks.
Did you Google it and it came up?
I did, and I told you that it came about from a moonshiner.
I thought she told you that.
No, I found that online. So Hootie was a moonshiner, and they make moonshine or close to a creek. And something to do with, it was a snack that they made while they was making moonshine, and that's how it came about, Hootie Creeks. But it makes these beautiful cookies, and they were absolutely delicious.
Oh, so much so that I told Jason, I said, you've got to ask her if we can get the recipe. And so he was watching TV with me, Carl, when I asked him. The next morning, I said, did you get the recipe? He said, no, I didn't ask her yet. I said, you've got to ask her. I need to know the recipe. And I'm hoping that it's something that I can indeed share with y'all because it was a great Hootie Creek.
It was delicious. Hootie Creek cookies, absolutely delicious. she did give me the recipe, and we're gonna make them and
we bought the
share them
ingredients
online.
Except for the supermarket was all out of pecans.
Slap out of pecans. There was not a pecan in the store.
I started to buy walnuts to supplement, substitute.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I'm just not a walnut fan like I am a pecan fan. I'm going to do it the right way. And it's possible that my mama has some pecans.
Right, right.
If that's the case, we get to go ahead and make them.
Right.
But if it's not, I'm going to pick some up because I want it to be just the way she put it in the jar.
Man,
we ate all of those. They were absolutely
Oh my
delicious.
gracious. They were absolutely delicious. Oh, I'm so glad because I've never had them. And
Mary Carl loved them.
Mary Carl loved them. And Mary Carl is not a big pecan fan.
No, she would tell us, leave the pecans out. I'm not eating that if it's got cream. She's just very particular, but she enjoyed that. And speaking of something else she enjoyed, we had a phone call this morning.
Yep.
That said, I have something for you, but it's really not something I need to leave at the farm stand. Well, this was our friends, Nick and Zoe over at Chestnut Hills. So I immediately knew probably it was something to eat.
Right.
And I was grinning on the inside because Zoe she needs a brick and mortar building in downtown Clanton that everybody has access to for her baked goods because she's just that good.
Yeah.
So I said, well, as a matter of fact, we got something for y'all too. And we were going to drop it off at their gate.
That's right.
But I was scared something might happen. So we met in town because we were both there already. And Jason, why don't you just show? Some of y'all knew about this because
that's what we were told. We were told that they had a live stream and had asked some of y'all that watched our live stream and asked y'all
what flavor cakes
you should make for us. And the winner was eggnog cake. And y'all, look at this.
It's partly gone, so don't look at that part. Go to this part.
Watch it now. I don't want that thing to fall now.
Y'all, I mean,
isn't that beautiful?
Is that not beautiful? You can show the
oh
inside
my
again.
Gracious.
This is how much we ate today.
That was all three of us now.
All three of us.
All three of us had some today.
We
and
did.
All three of us absolutely loved it.
So I need y'all to do something for me. I need y'all to go over to Nick and Zoe's Facebook or YouTube page and tell them that they're on here. They know we love it. But I need y'all to tell them exactly how much we love it. We got to keep these things coming. I mean, oh my goodness, it is so good. It's the best cake I said that about the red velvet, but I'm going to say it about this one too. It's the best cake I've ever eaten.
It's good. It is so good. Somebody said the cognog cake.
It is the cognog cake because it is the bomb.
And again, it is, the sweetness is absolutely spot on. It's not.
Nothing's overpowering about it. It's not a little too sweet. And what is it?
G&G's eating some right now.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
It is delicious. It is all just so perfect. So perfect.
It's so good. It is so good.
We did this. Okay. So we were in town and we got back and it was in a box.
Yeah.
And we opened it up and we showed Mary Carl and she took like 10,000 pictures of it.
She did.
She never asked what flavor it was.
Yes.
We never told her what flavor it was. She tells us she doesn't like eggnog.
And she's never had it.
She's never had it.
She's never tried it.
How does she know if she likes eggnog? So she got finished eating her lunch and I said, do y'all want to cut that cake? And Mary Carl said, well, yeah. And
she never asked what flavor it was. Never asked
what it was. We cut into it. She said, ooh. She said, I thought it was going to be white. And we were like, no, it's a brown cake. Is what we said. And loved it.
She loved it.
Loved
Absolute. And we still haven't told her it was eggnog cake.
And we're not
going to.
Not being mean. It's not like you're.
She never asked. And she absolutely loved it.
So, I mean, that's saying something right there.
I mean, she had pecans in her cookies from Nana B
Mm-hmm.
and didn't and loved it. And now she's got the eggnog cake and loved it. So yeah.
We're on to something. We just need, as long as it's pretty, and we know it tastes good.
Plus she knew plus she knows if Zoe cooked it.
Oh gosh.
You don't even have to ask, no questions.
She doesn't ask because she knows questions. It's gonna be good. So I asked Zoe today, I said, are you still, shipping some things? Because some of you guys have ordered from her and you know how good it is, but she cooks the little she calls them puck cakes, and they are on their website at chestnuthillsfarmstead.com. And she will ship the little small cakes. Of course, she can't ship a big cake, y'all. That's impossible.
I hate to know if I had to ship somebody a cake.
Oh, I'd be a nervous wreck. But she can ship the little mini ones. I can guarantee you, I'll vouch for her. If it ain't good to you, I'll eat it. She trying to tear her up. Holly, no. If you say it's not good, you send it to me and I'll eat it on the live. Because you're telling a story. There's no way it's not good if Zoe made it.
I saw somebody said that they just took out eggnog bread out of the oven.
Eggnog bread.
Well, that sounds good too.
Wow.
But Nick said that Zoe makes him an eggnog pound cake.
Yes,
and I bet that's good too.
I bet it is too. The thing is it doesn't taste. I mean, I love the flavor of eggnog, but that cake is kind of like I would call it like a spice taste, like a spice
gingerbread.
Yeah, kind of like gingerbread. Nothing is overpowering though. You wouldn't know it was eggnog.
And they're saying that the recipe for the cake will be in their video today.
Oh.
Yep. So that's something you want to tackle.
It's something I'm not going to tackle because Zoe makes it just right. I don't need to. I mean, I'd love to have the recipe to keep it, but I'm going to keep on letting Zoe make it.
So that reminds me. So this was many years ago. I'd moved out of my mom and dad's house, bought my house. And so I'm trying to learn how to cook and stuff. And so I decided I'm going to make a yellow cake with black icing. Or chocolate icing.
Jason calls it. He's always called it black icing.
And so that's what I'm going to do. I love that. That's just a simple cake, Duncan Hines, with just a yellow cake, chocolate icing. So I got all my stuff. It's all in the box, so I didn't whip anything up. And so I'm so happy I'm doing this. I'm on my own. I'm making this yellow cake with the black chocolate frosting,
black icing. There we go.
And so, I get it all done, and I get the cake out, and I'm so happy. It was almost foolproof. Who can mess up a Duncan Hines yellow cake? And so then I get the chocolate icing, and I start spreading it on there, and getting on there, and trying to make it look all nice and neat. And there it sits, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get me a piece, and I cut me a little piece, and I eat it, and it's good. And then I walk off, I'm going, go about my day, come back in there, and all the icing's off of it. Because I didn't wait to let it cool before I put my icing on there.
Well, that's how you learn, though, Jason.
So, Mac, you can only imagine
the mess.
What it looked like was that, somebody didn't know putting hot frosting on a hot cake and what it looked like.
But it tasted good, that initial slice.
That first slice did. Holly, don't do that.
The rest of the time you had to scoop it up and put it back on there. And that's how you learn, though, Jason.
That's how you learn. I won't ever forget my first meal I made you at my new house was stuffed bell peppers, and they were absolutely terrible. They were so dry.
It wasn't very good. But to go back to that day, I don't know if we would like it today. That if we created that recipe today, I don't know if it's something we would like.
I don't know either. It was like I can see the picture vividly in the cookbook I had. I probably don't have that cookbook anymore.
I could go to Jason's, I lived at home with my parents. We weren't married. And of course, I'd go over there, and it seemed like every time I went over there that he wasn't working in his yard, he was watching Food Network.
Yeah.
And he just loved it. He loved to experiment and try to get things in his mind that he wanted to do. And I guess he thought he was going to be a bachelor forever. I mean,
I don't know. I just had to try it. I don't know. Just wanted to cook, see what I could do.
Now, one time when we were still dating and he lived at his parents' house, it was my birthday or something, and I can remember you buying a little tiny grill, and you grilled me a steak. It was probably the first time you ever grilled a steak. And y'all, he had some music going, and he had grilled me a steak, and it was a song that I liked that was on repeat. Do you remember it? It was Bonnie Raitt. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
And
oh goodness,
that was very memorable. He was a very talk about you like you don't exist anymore. Yes, the steak was good. The steak was good.
I did okay on the steak then.
You did,
just not on my cake.
Well, I don't remember that. So
I do. I probably threw it away before you came over.
You probably never told me about it.
Oh, that cake.
But the best thing to do is if something like that happens and it's somebody's first time doing something, is not to laugh at them. Just say you'll learn.
That's right. That's all you can learn, right?
That's right. If you didn't learn something, then you ain't doing.
That's right.
So yes, you learned something.
Oh, but that's a tip. Don't put your icing on your cake till it's cool.
That's right. You got company coming tomorrow. You wait on that cake.
Oh goodness.
Don't put it on a hot cake.
Don't put it on a hot cake. So we somebody's asking what was HOLLY doing. She's asleep now. She was chewing on her bed. I don't know why.
No,
she was doing that.
She's not in distress or anything. She wasn't even acting like we were here, but she was trying to chew on it a little bit, which is odd.
And this is a few days ago is her gotcha day. 2 years.
Yes.
She's been here 2 years.
Can y'all believe that Holly has been here 2 years? That it seems like forever.
It does seem like she's always
been here.
Yeah, it does. Always been here. But well, 2 years.
One can only wish that she always will be.
That's right.
She's a good one.
She is a good one.
She's definitely a good one. I can't even read my writing here.
Somebody said you put the cake in the freezer for a minute just before you add the icing. That's a good tip.
What did I make the other day that I did that too? Oh, that cranberry yum yum. I knew that y'all wanted to eat it that night, and I stuck it in the freezer just so it would chill faster than.
Yeah, they don't teach that in school anymore. I think, but I want to say I saw somewhere recently that some schools are bringing that back.
I think that Emily told me that they have home ec at her school.
Really?
I think she did, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's a public school here in Alabama.
Yeah.
Yep. But I read somewhere recently, like a news article that they were bringing that back.
Well, they need to, in my opinion. I mean, some boys may not feel that way, but everybody needs to learn some life skills.
Yeah.
And, not to say my mama didn't do a good job trying to teach me how to cook and such, but that class really made me focus and realize measurements and things that you're going to carry with you in life. I learned how to sew on a button, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
I would have had to watch a YouTube video otherwise. I mean, she sat down with us and learned how to, I'm trying to think what else. She taught me a lot of things. One of the best teachers I ever had.
How to make cornbread.
Yeah, Miss Rabin's cornbread.
That's big here.
Yeah, it is.
That's big here.
That's a staple, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's big here.
But it definitely, in my opinion, needs to be put in there for an option at least.
That's right.
For an option. What else you got?
What you got written over there?
Well, I was going to say that we made the dreaded mistake earlier today of going in Walmart.
It wasn't a planned trip. It's something that just popped up. And so we were really going to go to just a little local grocery store, and then something else came up. And so we were like, well, we might as well go on in there. And lo and behold, we needed a little small item in electronics. And the young man back there said, y'all come on, as long as y'all don't have anything to weigh, y'all can check out back here.
And it saved us.
Like,
if we'd have bought something for $100, we probably would have benefited from checking out back there because it was like one of those things. Do it. I dare you. I dare you to go to Walmart this morning.
I'm going to tell you what I saw that I was, and you wasn't shocked, but I was. I don't know why. I just figured people would have been gone earlier, but
the grocery shop?
No, the liquor store was slapped. I ain't never seen that many people at the liquor store. We passed by the liquor store, the ABC store, going to Walmart, and usually it's always just a couple little cars out there, but
it caught our eye.
You couldn't park at the liquor store.
We drove by, and Jason said, "Man." And I turned around because I was driving, and I looked over there, and I was like, "Good gracious!"
I couldn't believe there was that many people out there. Oh my gosh!
Y'all know Mary Carl has braces, and she's got a place on one of her back teeth where her bracket is rubbing up against her gum, and it's created an ulcer. I didn't think of it being an ulcer, but good old Catherine over at G&G looked at a picture and she said, "Oh, that bracket's rubbed an ulcer," and called the orthodontist today thinking we could get in. They're closed till the 1st.
Yeah.
So luckily her pediatrician was open and I was able to get something to help heal that. It's bad. It's a bad spot in the back of her mouth. So much so that she couldn't even hardly eat anything. And pediatrician called in some oral steroid to put on there till we can be seen. But she was having a problem eating and can't really chew. And I think this medicine's going to bring down that swelling where she can just about eat anything, but it's got to take effect.
Right.
Mama, will you please pick me up a gravy biscuit when you're in town? I said, sure, because she thought she could eat that. It'd be soggy, you know. So I had to go by the drugstore to get her prescription picked up. And Jason, in the meantime, got an order online done for the gravy biscuit because we were approaching cutoff time for breakfast. And I knew if you ordered it on the mobile app, then they'd have it ready and we wouldn't, miss out on the breakfast.
That's right.
She wouldn't eat a hamburger or chicken tenders. This was soft.
That's right.
He put the order in, he paid for it. And I got back in the car and I said, we have 2 Jack's locations in Clanton. I said, is it the one over by Russell DeWitt Center or is it the other one? And he said, we looked at the address together.
Yeah.
7th Street North. And I said, I think that's the one over by Russell. So he put it in his GPS.
I clicked it.
Get directions.
It came up after you ordered it, and I clicked it right there. And we were going
the wrong way. We were going to go the wrong way if we turned right.
We were going the right way, but they said we was going the wrong way. Because that sounds confusing.
It does. Anyway, we got to go in the way the GPS told us. And I got to Jack's and I said, I have a mobile order to pick up. And they said, what's the name? I said, Brooke Smith. Are you sure you ordered it at this location? I said, yes, it says it right here. And I showed it to them. They said, does it have an N after the address? And I said, yeah, that's the other location.
But that's not what it said when we clicked it.
No, it's not. And so
we're going the right way to start with.
We were. In the meantime, we had been gone longer than expected because of the Walmart nightmare. And we got turned around and we went to the other one. And when we got to the other location, they said, this makes me very angry because they could have just fulfilled that order at the other location and prevented you from driving all the way down here.
Yep.
But needless to say, we got it. We got it. It was very frustrating.
And I see a lot of people saying about wax, but that was the reason we ended up going to Walmart was to pick her up some wax.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so swollen that she can't get wax on there anyway. She can't even get her finger in between her gum and her bracket.
Yep.
So wax was, it was one of the reasons, but that was the second part of the trip. Prescription was number 1.
Yes.
So we hope that swelling's going to go down with you.
I saw somebody say that the reason why the liquor store is the exact same you see it. That's it. They got to spend time
with their
family, and then there's probably some crazies
awful,
in their
y'all.
family.
That's
and that
awful. But I said the very same thing. Jason said, Ricky, why all those people are out there? And I said, I can tell you why. They got to go be with their family.
Yeah.
And that doesn't pertain to everybody, but
no, but I'm sure everybody.
I hope you see the funny in that.
Yes,
I hope you.
And that's what they were. That's what they had some laughing after that too.
Yeah, so it's just a funny. Joke. It's not a serious comment. Catherine had also told me about Mary Carl to get some liquid Benadryl and get her to swish it around in her mouth and spit it out, and it would reduce some inflammation. It would help with her pain. And so I had some in my hand at the pharmacist, and it didn't say Benadryl, it was the ingredients. And I asked the pharmacist, I said, will this help her if she swishes some of this around in her mouth, for an ulcer to help reduce some pain and swelling? And he said, I've never heard of that. And he looks at an older lady who was a pharmacist beside her, and she said, yes, I've heard that all my life. I've heard it. And so I've got the liquid Benadryl per Catherine. Yeah, y'all need any tips? No, I'm not going to do that to her. I'm not going to do that to her.
Oh, you better not.
No.
Oh, me.
Jason got tickled last night because I was talking to Catherine about Mary Carl and what could be done. And he said, what is it? I was laughing. And I said, Catherine used to work at a dentist office, and he just busted out laughing because everything I do kind of revolves around Catherine's experience with something. Yeah. When it's bad, when something bad happens, she kind of knows the remedy. And it's because she has experiences working, and there she is.
She's full of tips.
Yeah, you are, girl.
Somebody said honey helps.
Interesting. She is.
But you did get some stuff for her ulcer.
I did.
Yep.
And so we're hoping she's only used it once because it was, use it after lunch, after dinner, and after breakfast. We kind of missed breakfast. It was almost lunch when I got back. But we got it.
Goodness.
We got it done.
Oh, me.
I was going down one of the aisles in Walmart, and you know how you go to the end of the aisle and somebody almost pulls out in front of you, and you just can't help but look at that person and kind of smile. Well, this lady, I looked at her and I smiled and we made contact, and I just kind of felt like I should know her, and she acted like she knew me, but we went on about our separate ways. And then it happened again. And she said, and I'm glad she did, are you Brooke from Coghill Farm? I said, yes, ma'am. I'm Caden's grandmother. And I was so glad that she spoke because y'all know we think the world of him. And it was so good for me to be able to tell her that I think her grandson is phenomenal. And she said that she had been visiting with him, and he's got cabin fever already because he loves to go and work. And I told her, he's welcome here anytime.
Anytime.
It was just nice to be able to meet her and put a name with the face. And she thinks the world of him as well. It's her only grandson. So
somebody said that pure coconut oil will help.
Interesting. I don't know why that bracket rubbed right there. That's another.
And she's had braces for how long?
2 years and 2 months.
So I'm saying who knows. Well,
she had in her mind, Mama, if we go today, she told me about it last night. If we go today, you think they might take them off? I don't think so. But she's past ready to have them off, and it's time.
Goodness.
We're hoping at the next appointment something will be done. Do you think they might take them off?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I don't know if they will or not, baby. Wishful thinking.
Coconut oil is an antibacterial, and so is honey. That's interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, the big day is tomorrow. Big Christmas. And we're going to have a, what's it called? Standing rib roast.
Standing rib roast.
And I'm going to cook it on the grill tomorrow. And what else we're going to have with it?
Some Italian green beans. That is something that we, we might have to change that. My mama's making a green bean casserole.
Yeah.
We
might change that.
But Mary Carl won't eat the green bean casserole, so we might have. Maybe we won't tell her it's called green bean casserole. Maybe we'll just put it out there and say, "Look how pretty this looks." Think that would work?
Yeah.
Gonna have some sweet potatoes.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make the butter swim biscuits.
Oh, good. Good.
And the standing rib roast.
I saw Miss Lisa's doing a rib roast too.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is our first. I mean, we've cooked a prime rib before,
right?
One time before, and this is pretty much the same thing, but it's boneless.
Boneless.
So we learned.
Yeah.
Bought it from Calfee Cattle.
We did.
Like to know where our meat came from, and they are top choice in our book.
We're gonna smoke it on the smoker.
Smoke it on the smoker.
Mm-hmm. Several people are making rib roast too.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Sure are.
Well, I bet most of them are cooking them in their oven, and I suggested that, but the weather's supposed to be nice, so.
And we're gonna try it on the we're gonna try it on
the grill.
On the grill. Yep. We're gonna try it on the grill.
I don't think you can go wrong with it. I don't think we're gonna say, hey, that would be better in the oven.
If somebody's having a rack of lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Making those biscuits for breakfast tomorrow. Thunderbird.
Yes. I think that
somebody's having a brisket.
We've got a big old brisket. You know, I told Nick and Zoe when we met them today, I said, you know what? I said, we need to get together soon, maybe January the 1st or 31st, and cook that big old brisket.
Yeah.
And have some of our friends over. And then I said, I don't know if I can get the house cleaned up by then.
That's funny.
Maybe. We'll see.
That's funny. I saw somebody having Greek chicken soup, and that just sounded good.
It did. It does.
Don't sound good.
Greek chicken soup, huh?
Greek chicken soup.
You okay, girl?
Oh, goodness.
Here they go.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I'm sure whatever you're having.
A lot of Mexican food tomorrow.
Well.
I'm glad that people just eat what they want to eat.
That's right. You know, we used to try to do it by the book.
Yeah.
But we decided we were just going to eat what we like. And last year we did the shrimp and grits. So that was good. We had just about decided we were going to do shrimp and grits again this year.
Right.
And I saw that Dana Calfee posted a Christmas opportunity to buy some cuts of meat that they don't normally offer. And I said, let's try this. Let's try this.
Let's try it.
Otherwise, we might be going outside the box and having our shrimp and grits. But nobody says you got to have a ham for Christmas and a turkey for Thanksgiving. That's
or vice versa. You just
cook
what you want. Maryland crab cakes, artichoke dip,
yummy.
Steak. Nick is smoking bologna again. They liked it so much.
Wow, we're gonna have to try that too.
I forgot he got it at Winn-Dixie.
Huh?
I think that's right. I was wondering where he got that bologna from. Shrimp and grits is there somebody's tradition.
How about that? Yeah, we had thought about making a tradition. If Dana hadn't offered that, that's what we were.
That's what we were gonna have. Yep.
But it's not going to be anybody, but just
Lots
us.
Of steaks.
And we're just gonna, not overdo it. Eat what we can have at one setting without a bunch of extra stuff.
That's right.
Or any waste, no waste.
The German bologna at Winn-Dixie. That's where Nick said he got it from. I want to try that. Definitely. Salt, man, that is one thing I absolutely love.
Sausage balls.
And
I've never tried to make them.
So every year at the dealership I work for, around Christmas, everybody would bring a little snack or something, the day before we were off. And it was, everybody would just bring something different. And Miss Debbie Spivey, the office manager, she always brought sausage balls every time because they were so daggum good. Oh, I could eat a whole plate of them.
And I must say, I had never had a sausage ball until I had
Miss Debbie's. Man.
When I worked at Walter Craig, we always had events and we would bring a dish. And you know what? Something that I had that I've never really heard of anybody else doing.
What's that?
And y'all are gonna either agree with this or not agree with it. Take a crock pot and take the little cocktail sausages and put a thing of grape jelly in there and cook them.
I never heard of that.
It was good.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I like, if I get a sausage biscuit, I like to put the jelly on the sausage biscuit.
Well,
so that makes sense.
The grape jelly just kind of cooks down into the sausage, and it is. I hadn't had it since I worked there, but it was something they did that I had never heard of before.
You know what I like that you just don't ever see, or your fancy cheese ball. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Now I used to make a good cheese ball.
I love cheese ball.
Yeah, and I've got the ingredients for it. The one that I made had chopped ham in it, ranch dressing, cream cheese. I can't even remember what else. Rolled in nuts.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was really good, and you can make them all different kinds of ways.
There's several people saying that they like the
cocktail sausage.
Yeah, and the grape jelly. Yep,
it was always a hit.
And some people say they had it with barbecue sauce in with it too, including the grape jelly.
Really?
Yeah.
So grape jelly and barbecue sauce in the same pot.
Yep. Grape jelly and Sweet Baby Ray's.
I'd hate to know. I had to tell Mary Crossy what was in that.
Somebody said they use chili sauce. That is interesting.
If I told her these sausages were cooked in grape jelly, she'd run out the door.
Oh,
you agree?
Yeah, she would run out the door. Absolutely. Would run out the door.
It was good, though. We'll have to do that sometime.
Grape jelly sausages. That's quite popular. And chili sauce.
I felt like people knew about it. I just...
You need to try grape jelly and meatballs.
Oh, I bet that is good.
That just blows my mind.
I bet that is good. Do you just do grape jelly, or do you mix it with something when you do it with the meatballs?
I don't know.
I mean, I wonder if you dilute the jelly.
And I say I had never heard of that, but I know I've eaten it before because from Christmas parties like that, and your church gatherings.
Right, you've had it at some point.
I know I've had it at some point.
Goodness, I got a frog in my throat. I'm not getting sick, I promise you. Huh? It's
a lot of people saying with the chili sauce.
The chili sauce.
Interesting.
Huh. Wow.
A bottle of chili sauce. Look at that.
Just chili sauce?
No, grape jelly and chili sauce.
Okay. Well, that's what we're going to try. We're just going to...
A lot of people, look, I think chili sauce more than anything.
Chili sauce and grape jelly? Okay. Okay. Well, I remember that being good. And, of course, we weren't even married half the time, so I had no reason to cook it. But that was something good. And people just took toothpicks and, stuck them in them and ate them. Wish I had some tonight.
I wish I had some sausage balls.
I wish I had a cheese ball. I told them earlier today, I said, y'all, I'm planning on having breakfast for dinner tonight. Is that okay? Everybody in unison said yes. So we're having breakfast for dinner tonight. It's really because I didn't think ahead. I was thinking about spaghetti, but then we always have leftovers with spaghetti, and we're cooking the rib roast tomorrow, and I don't want to have... I mean, I could freeze dry the spaghetti, but I don't want to have a big, plate of spaghetti left over. I don't have to.
I'm just floored at the chili sauce. That's just something here where we are in Central Alabama. You don't hear chili sauce.
No, not very often.
Not very often.
Somebody wants to know what are sausage balls. A lot of people make them with Bisquick.
Yeah.
And I saw some just yesterday. They were pre-made by Jimmy Dean. It was sausage balls. And I thought Jason would like that. And then I said, I ain't buying nothing out of a box.
No, make them. It's it's kind of like a biscuit and sausage
and cheese
rolled into a little bite-sized ball, and they're delicious. Absolutely delicious. Barbecue sauce works instead of chili sauce.
Okay.
But they said Heinz makes a chili sauce.
I've seen I know that we
don't add water to the jelly.
Okay.
Put the whole jar in there.
All right.
But we got the best. We got the best
I tell you what's not going to happen.
followers in the world.
I am not going to the grocery store when I leave this live.
You know what? We don't have any cocktail sausages. We got some grape jelly, though.
Well, I'll eat the jelly alone before I go to Walmart and get the cocktail sausages.
Oh, goodness.
Or the grocery store at that.
Mm.
I'm not. I'm done. We said when we left there today, we are not coming back.
And it could have been worse.
Oh, it could have been worse for sure.
It was bad, but it wasn't like, level 10 bad. It was about a 7.
I bet right now it's level 15 bad.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I'm not even going back to town.
And I must say, that young man in electronics was the nicest.
He was. I mean,
he was just...
He had a lot going on, too.
And was smiling and volunteered to check us out. I mean, that was...
Can't get better than that.
No, you can't. And he was a young man, too.
Yeah, he was.
Probably in his... Gosh,
he
didn't look like
he was
18.
The manager?
He
was the electronics manager.
Really?
Yes,
I can see why.
That's that.
Because of his attitude and the way he was, did us. I can see why he's the manager.
He was deserving of his job.
Absolutely.
Well, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this. I just about want to dig into that cake. I tell you, I'm sitting here staring at it out of the corner of my eye. Those beautiful cranberries, dusted with the sugar, are just delightful. Everything about it was phenomenal. I better eat my dinner first.
That's right. Well, you can eat your dessert first. It don't matter. It's Christmas Eve.
That's right. That's right.
Wash your hands with your soap when you're done.
Got all the ingredients to make the... Y'all hear that? That's
I don't know if they can hear Jesse or not.
I don't think that's Snow White.
I think it was Jesse.
What are they called? Hootie cakes?
Uh-huh.
Is that what they were called?
Hootie Creeks.
Hootie Creeks.
Hootie Creek cookies.
We got the ingredients except for the pecans. So I may have to make those too.
I saw somebody ask, what is my favorite Christmas movie? And I thought for a second. And I'm just a silly person. So it would have to be the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's just hilarious to me.
Mine would have to be probably the only one that I remember as being my favorite. Emmett Otter's Jug Band.
I've seen a lot of Emmett Otter Jug Band stuff lately too.
That was my favorite. That's the only show I ever look forward to watching during the, Christmas season. That was such a good show.
Yeah. That is a good one. That would be in my top 3 for sure.
All right, Justin. Well, we got to put animals up. We got to have some supper, and
get ready for Santa Claus.
We got to get ready for Santa Claus, because I bet during the night when we look on our camera of Peaches and Pocket, Santa's gonna be in there patting each one of them, telling them what good girls and boys and they've been.
I've seen several people ask, why didn't we order pecans from Daniel? This was
spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment, and Daniel lives about 12 hours away from us.
We did not.
We had no intentions of going to get pecans today.
We did not get the Hootie Creeks until, was it yesterday or day before? Day before.
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday? No, because I made them last night. Anyway, this was spur of the moment.
This was spur of the moment.
Yeah, we didn't plan to drive to Oklahoma today. That was not in our.
Oh, I could send Daniel a text and he would ship me some over here, but
yeah, he would.
I wouldn't get them in time.
Well, they'd be here for my birthday.
That's right.
All right, everybody.
That's right.
We hope everybody has a merry Christmas.
We really do. We really do.
A video will come out tomorrow.
It's going to be a good, heartwarming video tomorrow.
Yes, and I will have one on Thursday, and schedule should follow as planned.
That's right.
Live on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And if anything changes, we'll always let you guys know.
That's right. Y'all have a merry Christmas, and y'all be good.
That's right.